jalebi or apple fritters. Hi, welcome back to Ananya's Fashion on Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana, where we have great fun cooking food, making food and serving food. We're going to make today a very interesting dish which can be used as an Indian sweet but has a very special ingredient which usually is not used in sweet making. Yes, we're going to make apple fritters or apple jalebi. A few weeks back we had made pineapple fritters and we'd got requests asking for egg-free batter recipe. So here it is, we're going to make this apple jalebi or apple fritters without using any egg. You can use the same batter and make the pineapple fritters. Look it up. So we're going to make apple fritters or apple jalebi today. For the apple jalebi you will need firm apples, refined flour, corn flour, suji or semolina, baking soda, vinegar, oil for deep frying, sugar syrup with saffron strands. So I had got this sugar syrup ready from before and had added the saffron strands in it, which gives it this lovely color. Now I'm going to put it back on heat because I want it to kind of not crystallize and keep it in the liquid form while we are preparing the apple fritters, the batter as well as the apples. Okay, so here it goes, back on heat, the sugar syrup. And now let it warm. So now I'm going to make the egg-free batter. Alright. The most interesting thing about this apple jalebi is even if you have a puja at home or you have to serve something which is eggless, you can make this apple jalebi or apple fritters for that occasion. Okay. So here goes the flour, maybe about a heaped teaspoon of semolina or suji, corn flour, about the same amount. Then we're going to put just a pinch of the baking soda and now just add the water and just mix it. So let it all nicely come together. So just keep adding water to get the right consistency. It should be thick enough to cover the apples, but it shouldn't be so thick that it doesn't spread, and of course you don't want a very runny batter. Just make sure the whole thing becomes like a homogeneous mixture. It tends to have these lumps at the bottom, so you nicely give it a whisk so that everything comes together. So now to the apples. Here is the apple and here is the cored apple. I'm going to show you how to get this there. So what you do is you cut one side of the apple off and then the other side. And this is the corer. So, I don't know, I feel them in some kind of a murder mystery. There you go. Perfectly cored apple. So now that we've got the apples cored, we are going to make these apple wheels, which basically means we're just going to cut the apples into these perfectly round wheels. This is really a quick recipe and you have to do the apple cutting really fast because otherwise they're going to get blackened. Now I have got them in this lime water, so they're still nice and fresh. Now a little optional step here, which is just like a tiny amount of vinegar into the batter. This is if your apples are really sweet, you can add the vinegar to cut the sweetness into the batter. Now this is done. I can already hear the oil getting heated and simmering, so I'm going to take the apple roundels and put them on this kitchen tissue because I'm certainly not going to put the apple right out of the water directly into the oil. So here you go, and then quickly just put another sheet of kitchen tissue and just pat it dry. Alright, now comes the fun part. Apple roundel number 1, coat it nicely with batter. Just make sure it's fully covered in thick, and in it goes. And apple number 2, apple 3. This is fun. Just quickly do it. Let's see how the ones from before are doing. Now you'll have to wait till it gets golden brown. These actually look like jalebis. I have a special relationship with this recipe My grandmother actually, I mean, she was, I think, 81 years old that time. And she found this recipe, and one fine day she tells me, I'm going to make apple jalebis. I'm like, what? She said, no, I'm going to make apple jalebis. And we had this Krishna puja at home. And she actually used to make this as prasad. So as I told you, that's what it is. You know, if you have a eggless batter, you can serve it anywhere on any occasion. So as you can see, the apple fritters are nice and brown, and they've got this beautiful golden color. It's time to take them out and put them directly into the syrup, which we had warming there, if you remember. The good thing about putting them directly into the syrup while they're hot is because it's going to soak in all the syrup while it's still warm. So the syrup will penetrate right into the jalebi. Just turn them around. Make sure they're coated and go back to making the second batch. Just look at this. They absolutely look delicious. They're all soaked and shiny in the sugar syrup. And I just think I managed to make my grandmother proud. Yeah? Okay, time to plate this. Here you go. Let's take a little flat one first. And let's put it as a base. Tower of apple jalebis is getting ready. My little apple jalebi tower. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use a little bit of the sugar syrup, just pour it on top so that it kind of covers the jalebi. The apple jalebi is ready. I have added some saffron strands from top. And here you go. All the goodness of dessert. No eggs, no nothing. So here is the apple jalebi. Have fun. Do see us every week on Friday and Saturday, 5 p.m. India time. We upload new recipes. Have a great weekend.